The summer of Brolin continues. Sicario Day of the Soldado is a sequel to Sicario and stars Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin. This time we don't have Emily Blunt in this movie for reasons unknown, aside from the fact that she was probably filming A Quiet Place, and her character's arc in the first movie was pretty much wrapped up. But this time we have Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin continuing their quest to take down the cartel. This time it focuses less on the border aspect of it, but instead we have terrorism and children playing a main theme in this movie. And I thought that was ballsy, and I thought it paid off for the most part in this movie. This movie is written by Taylor Sheridan, who did Wind River, wrote the first Sicario, directed Wind River as well, wrote other great movies that you've seen, Hell or High Water. He really knows how to write a movie, and he always makes it theater-worthy, although I feel like he might need to start branching out if he wants to continue, because some of his action scenes are lackluster. I don't want to say that Sicario has action scenes, because this is a very dark and real movie, and it's intense, and it's very tough to watch at times. It's disturbing. The sequences involving children are hard to watch. It is very disturbing, but the scenes that have violence in them, maybe they were intended not to be exciting, but when I watch a movie, I want to be happy and I want to be entertained, and I can appreciate this movie. I thought this movie was gritty and real and impressive and really good, but I think you want to entertain more than upset, because overall this movie is very upsetting, and it's very dreary and dark and grim, and I love that, but I feel like they might, if they're doing a third one, you might want to have moments of lightness, because this movie has pretty much none of that. But Benicio del Toro is a badass. He is so cool. Josh Brolin, once again, is killing it. The little girl in this movie from Transformers, not sure what her name is. Her name is Isabella in real life. Isabel Moner. And she's good in this movie, despite, you know, being horrible in Transformers. And there's a young guy in this movie. I don't want to give anything away with him, but he's very good as well. And you'll see what I'm talking about once you've seen the end of this movie. This movie takes shocking turns and really holds no punches. Everything that you think they're going to do that's rough to watch, it happens, and they do it in the most brutal and in a messed up way, satisfying way. Everything that you want to see, you're like, I really hope these people get what's coming to them, and then when you see it happen, you're like, I feel like a disgusting person, but awesome. I kind of like that about these movies, because the movies are dirty and they are just messed up, but the performances are so good and the plot is so good. It just makes that horrible stuff that you have to sit through enjoyable in a messed up, weird, sick way. I felt like this movie had a lot of potential to be more, and unfortunately I don't really think it paid off toward the end. I felt like this movie was built to get going, and I feel like in the second half, it just sort of ends. And I feel like the movie didn't, maybe if there was a 3-hour cut, I'm not saying I would have sat through it, I probably would have fallen asleep, to be honest. But if there were a 3-hour cut, I feel like you would have been able to flesh out the characters a bit more and give some people more screen time, build up on the action sequences, really satisfy, because in the first movie, there are some gut-wrenching, like, clench your fist scene. Like, the opening of that movie is exciting and intense, and the border crossing scene in that movie, there's one scene on like a highway, all of it is incredible to watch, and it looks beautiful. This movie is not directed by Denis Villeneuve, which I think was a mistake, although this movie really is enjoyable. I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. I think it's really good, and I think it is performance-wise top-notch, and directed-wise it looks pretty good for the most part. But Denis Villeneuve has such a stamp, and Roger Deakins, I believe, was the cinematographer on the first one, really has a look, and the first movie has such a look to it, and it's so like ugly, but you can't take your eyes away, and I love that about the first movie. This one doesn't really have that, which is unfortunate, but really look at this movie more as a standalone movie than a sequel, because when you're comparing it to the first movie, it doesn't come close. It really doesn't compare. But when you look at it as a standalone, intense, like hitman action thriller with like intense political drama going on as well, you can enjoy it a lot more, I think. And I did, because halfway through the movie I was like, this isn't as good as the first Sicario, but let's sit back and enjoy this movie as a standalone ride. And I think you'll enjoy it that way. I definitely recommend seeing Sicario Day of the Soldado. What did you guys think of it? Comment down below, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time, and goodbye.